Right. I think we can start. How did you cope with the with COVID?
Terrible piece of software, Zoom, got really popular.
Artificial intelligence, automation, it's coming, right? It's already here, so it's the future is present, right? So
I like new technologies. I like to adopt new people coming with new technologies, new fresh ideas. It's a lot of people from company called Quantox, who's doing his biggest porn industry software development company.
You are listening to the LondonPreneur Show, a podcast that inspires entrepreneurs of all ages to create meaningful businesses and pursue their passions. My name is Tiago Correia, a technology sales professional and business advisor, and I'm sitting down with entrepreneurs in London to talk about their process, the lessons they've learned, and how to make an impact. If you are new to the channel, welcome, and please do not forget to subscribe. If you are already a subscriber, it's nice to have you back.
hello, friends. So my name is Tiago Correia, and welcome to another episode of the LondonPreneur Show. I'd like to start this episode by welcoming Kaspar Palgi, a tech enthusiast and co-founder of CrewNew, freelance agency supporting companies with anything from marketing, software development, developing web applications, developing, and amongst other things. Kaspar, thank you very much for joining us today. It's a pleasure having you here. For those who don't know you yet, can you please just introduce yourself and share a little bit about your background?
Hello, hi Diego, and thank you for welcoming. My background is pretty much tech. I've been running my own professional IT company since it was registered 2000, but active business started actually a bit earlier, a couple of years. So in high school, I started programming with PHP. Since that, I've been working with very many different technologies. So technology is something that I've been always working on.
Can you tell us where you from originally? Can you tell us a little bit about that? I think the viewers would like to understand a little bit about your I mean your where you're originally from and what brought you here to London.
My father is Armenian and mother is Estonian. I raised up in Estonia. I went to school in Estonia. I went to university in Estonia. After university, I moved together with three friends to London, and half of them have gone back to Estonia, everybody their own roads. I continued what I did in Estonia. I opened, I, I met a friend, British guy who was a good salesman. We started a typical software agency and selling. The company name was E-Estonia. It's like Estonia, but Estonia. Estonia is very famous for its tech savviness and all kind of modern solutions. We started selling more and more Estonian developers services in UK market. So project management and sales and marketing was based here in London, and all the coding was done in Estonia, so there where it all started. But we were like a typical agency. We had three, four guys working from Estonia, two of us from London, and yeah, that was how we were doing.
Why did you choose the UK start company that you have now? Why the UK? What do you think the UK has that other countries don't have, for example, in Europe?
UK was in European Union, and Estonia was taken to the Union in 2004. So it opened us as the Eastern Europeans, for whom, due to Russian occupation, was the borders were closed. We couldn't go to West, so it was a new opportunity, and UK, because we were not sure if UK or Ireland actually, but two English-speaking countries, all other countries would require first to start learning the language, and it would takes quite a long before you're fluent enough to
Yeah,
start doing something.
yeah, and because we all now, I mean, we all learn English at school, so for us, having English as a second language is something that at least many of us already have. So I believe that like countries like Ireland, or England will make it easier as a point of start. And of course, those countries are well known for being, startup hubs, right? They have a great number of small businesses starting, year on year. Especially in the tech space, I think it's still a very competitive environment. Do you think that this will change now with Brexit?
London and the whole UK, it's in a very strong position. I think UK will lose because of this, but because UK is in such a strong position, the small loss it won't kill, it won't probably hurt too much. But I think it's not good, yeah, because if you're thinking to pick a new home city in your life, it's a big decision. You're counting all the pluses and minuses, and I'm pretty sure European Union is one plus for many people.
Agree with you. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey as an entrepreneur to where you are today?
Being a businessman all of my life, I was 13 when I started giving at school short loans, and the business was built on the idea that didn't exist in Estonia back then, of course, that you don't take almost any interest, but you take pretty high interest if you don't pay on the right day. And one of my customers, my schoolmate, got into trouble and stole from his father the money to pay me back. And then I was told that it's not allowed to do such a business at school. But my mom told me, good boy, actually, good boy. Can't do that at school, but the idea is right.
the concept, the entrepreneurship, mind is there, isn't it?
At 6th grade, after school, it was possible to go and learn programming. The first computers came to our school, and after that, all my business life has changed.
What advice would you give to your younger self, or to someone young that wants to start, as an entrepreneur, wants to start his own business?
Start immediately, start as early as possible, because the older you get, the more you get dependent on regular income, and it's just not so easy anymore. And experience is very important. Every year you work on your own and you do your own business, you learn a lot.
Yeah, I think it's important that you start early, getting exposed, isn't it, to the business life in general, right? To the work life in general, right? And not be so depending on a job, on an employer.
Yes, and a lot of many other aspects too. Self-discipline, for example, learning to manage with the money so that you don't spend everything that you have. You have always you have your own interest, you have your business interest, you have other people in the company, and need to learn to think of everybody's interest.
Did you have a mentor from an early age when you started? Did you seek mentorship? Did you have anyone that you learn from?
No. I started a small business. It's a very typical today that the first business for people is a startup. They have a great idea. They don't have experience. They jump in. They use accelerators and all that kind of stuff. They just need help. They need on every aspect help. I started very small. I started doing websites on my own. I was myself solo entrepreneur. Then I was many years where it was just me and my friend, and we've been growing slowly. So that I never felt the need that I need somebody to come and mentor me. What are we gonna do? What's gonna happen? How are we gonna get our next 2,000 customers? How are we gonna expand? How are we gonna get the investor to get the next investment? Like such topics arise to me way later when I had already loads of experience behind me.
Yeah. Did anyone in your space, in the tech space, programming space, anyone that inspired you? That you have any references, anyone that have influenced you?
Yeah, in the beginning when I did I was young, I didn't have much experience. I took a lot of use of copying things from others. You just look what the other guys who are more clever and more experienced do, and then you just try to take and copy it. You're not capable to create your own innovative solutions. So I really much like Bill Gates, who took Unix and just turned the slash from one way to another. I thought that he's a cool guy. He knows what he's doing.
He's doing a lot of
Uh,
stuff, I believe.
yeah,
He's involved in pretty much everything nowadays, isn't he?
yeah.
He's an amazing character. I mean, as an entrepreneur, what keeps you motivated, Kaspar? What gives you energy to keep going, and being committed to your company?
Growth. I think the fact that I see that I can grow a lot, I can keep growing. There's always possible to grow bigger. When I was doing the classical type of agency years ago, then at one moment I saw that I shouldn't be growing anymore. It gets too stressful, too many workers, too many customers. Every customer needs attention, every employee needs to be paid. So I decided not to grow anymore at one moment. Then I had actually 2 3 years break. I was working only half time in software development, and I moved to Canary Islands and we rented their motorhomes. And then I invested into party pop-up tents. We ordered from China huge load, had some people in a warehouse working, dealing with them. I decided I deal with multiple small businesses and I don't have stress in that way. It was all before CrewNew, before where I saw the potential that as a franchise company, other people are dealing with the customers, so
Yeah,
I have infinite opportunity to grow.
that's great. Thank you for that. I mean, if money was not an option, what would you do every day? Would you continue to do what you do today, or would you be doing something different?
At the moment, I would continue growing CrewNew because it's a cool stuff. I've been building it from the beginning. It's, how they call it, it's my baby. I enjoy it. I enjoy
Right.
working on it. But I've been thinking earlier, like what would I do if if I wouldn't if I wouldn't need to go to work, if I wouldn't need to serve any customers, if I had enough money basically. I've been thinking I would probably run some kind of funds to train young people and support them with money if they need to just make good things. But I think the best thing to do is to pick the talented young people and train them.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's important to continue to invest in the youngest generations, right? So they can, proceed. I mean, they can continue to evolve, right? Let's go into CrewNew now and tell us a little bit about how this all started. How did it, the whole idea of CrewNew came to mind, and how did you start this journey?
I already told how I saw that growing the agency bigger and bigger got stressful, so I moved into just only half time into that business. Uh, and but one issue we already had a couple of freelancers. We were working regularly, who were not actually our company, hired by our company. Uh, and Estonia got more expensive meanwhile when joined EU. So and Estonia is like a very high tech country, and a lot of companies come and build big companies build their teams in Estonia, and those companies made the situation where hiring programmers in Estonia wasn't cheap anymore. We started working with more and more freelancers who were from Balkan area. Again, Europe, good English speaking, uh, pretty good education in terms of IT, decent programmers. Slavic people are naturally really good in math and that kind of stuff. If you look at PISA testing, for example. And yeah, we had Excel table where we had freelancers who we had worked already. We had added notes about them. This guy is good in this stuff, that guy is good in that stuff. And it became like bigger and bigger, the database of freelancers we had worked already. And the customer base again also started growing because we didn't have anybody full time and we didn't have too much hassle. Often some freelancers learned to work together, so they formed like their own small team. We saw a potential that, hey, this way we can grow. So we should just maybe do it more effectively, move away from these Excel tables and build some kind of more efficient software of filtering out the right guy.
Yeah. How difficult was it to start the company in the UK? Right, in terms of let's say process-wise, I mean bureaucracy. Is it a easy process for someone who comes from abroad to come and start a business in the UK?
I
Is it a
think it was
friendly environment?
I think it was pretty complicated back at 2004 when I came. It was even complicated to open a bank account back then. But now, when we established CrewNew, I mean, it was super simple. We have uh, one British director, then we have from Balkan countries shareholders, and we just needed a photography of everybody's passports, and we filled in the company's house website everything, and
Yeah.
I mean, nobody needed even to go anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, you can do everything online nowadays, isn't it? You can pretty much just set up a company within minutes, I believe,
Yeah,
in the UK. I mean, pretty much any country in Europe, I would say, it's like that, right? I think it's harder to close a company than to open a, a company at times. I had to close
yeah.
down one of my companies by few months ago, actually. I still had like a company that was not doing anything, was just stationed in Portugal, but I was paying taxes every year, and then I decided, you know what, I can't continue to be paying this stuff just to be here. And at one point I decided, okay, I'm gonna close the company, and I had to get an accountant involved, a lawyer involved. It's the process was so complex, and I ended up having to pay quite a big chunk of money. But it depends, right?
Yeah,
It varies. But because it depends, if because the company had an activity before, was quite active for a few years, there's some paperwork that needs to be filled. What useful would you I mean, if someone wants to come start their own business, start their own limited company, or as a sole trader, what would you recommend in terms of resources where people could go and look for useful resources?
we established our to establish the company. It's really so easy. You don't need any resources. I
Yeah,
think when it comes to you need to declare and pay taxes. That's the complex part. I mean, I don't know how to do that. You just need to find the
an
accountant, really.
accountant.
Yeah,
An
yeah.
accountant. Did you do like a business plan when you started your business? Like, did you look at all the aspects that, taxes before you started, or did you just jump into the business idea and you started straight away?
Jumped in and started. I mean, I have had enough experience to start the companies in other countries, in Spain and in Estonia, so I didn't feel anything that I need any help. I didn't feel that.
Yeah.
But business plan, yeah, I mean, business plan, I created the business plan because of investors. That's
You
where
you
you
need
need
the
the,
business plan to show investors, how much the business to forecast, isn't it? Like to say, this is how
yeah,
much
yeah,
we are worth now, and this is how much we expect to grow. So if you're looking for investors, yeah, you always need a business plan in place. And also I would say that is a good as a guide for you to succeed, to set you up for success. It depends on the type of business, your own experience, on the things you already know as as an individual, right? You might need
yeah.
to write things down to look at things, or you might know it already and you go with it. I think it will vary on. We all have different styles, right? Of doing things. Sometimes the best ideas come with no planning, right? It comes just just as an idea out of the box, and that's it. How does CrewNew compares to? I mean, I don't want to name any of your competitors, but how do you differentiate yourself from the competition? Right? What are your strengths as a company?
Still, if have to compare, I don't need to mention the names, but
If you want to mention, I don't have a
position.
problem with that, but it's up to you.
Okay. Well, we like to say that agency quality with freelancer prices. You could say it like Upwork prices and high street agency quality, or maybe top tier quality Upwork prices, or something like that. We function like a freelancer platform, like Upwork, People Per Hour, Freelancer.com, Fiverr.com, you name it. But the problem of all those is that there's no quality behind them. You might be lucky, but
It's a lottery.
it's a lottery. Yeah, it's a lottery. You don't have warranty. Freelancer might disappear, might take your first payment and not deliver anything. They can deliver you crap that comes out later, because if you're not a programmer, I'm talking right now mostly about programming and app development or
programming.
web development field. I mean, I think Fiverr is, for example, really great if you need really cheap, quick logo design. I've been using myself many times. You just pay a fiver or tenner and you get way better logo that you would do on your own. But
Yeah, it's
of
true,
course,
but it's still
but if you need a proper, of course, like a branding and identity, company identity, then Fiverr is not the place to go, of course. So yeah, I mean, the quality thing is problematic on the platforms and many other reasons as well. Like, for example, you can create your fake reviews. You can customers post their jobs into the platform, like which is very poorly defined. Like, for example, I like something like eBay, but maybe some Twitter functionality mixed in it. Like, it's a very typical. Or some customers think that, all right, I have here like 10 pages of text. I think I've done a good job. But if you don't have experience in writing a software requirement specifications, even if you produce 10 pages, the programmer head starts aching if the programmer reads that. It's a headache for a programmer. Programmer wants like clear definitions and right terminology to be used. And this is where you need a project manager who will work with you, sit with you, try to understand what you need. And this all happens in a normal agency or in TopTal, for example. But then you pay a really high price.
Yeah, it can get expensive. Yeah,
It can get really expensive if you go to a proper software development company, sit down there, have a nice cup of tea, and discuss with someone and get the proper documentation.
Yeah, can you say I mean, in terms of software development, can you give us like a couple of use cases or examples that are that can be like exciting, that are innovative?
Yeah, startups is most exciting customers for us. We're building right now quite a few startups. One is bookswap.co.uk, for example, where you can swap for £1, give your book that you don't need anymore, and then you get the point, and then for the points you can take others' books. That's pretty cool in terms of technology, and idea is also quite cool. Then another project is for restaurants. They have some food that they need to get rid of quickly because otherwise they have to throw it away. So they sell it cheap on the platform. So it's like a saving food. They've been saving tons of food. This one haven't come to UK market yet. And yeah, many other startups too. But we do all kind of business software really. Like
Yeah. So
you
anything you
name
want
it,
to
like
develop, you can do
yeah,
it.
yeah. Like there are really many drop shippers, our customers, for example, and all kind of different fields, really. There are also some technologies that we do more than others. Like maybe we do Node.js like way more in the backend than, for example, .NET. But we have on the platform also .NET developers, and on ad hoc they work as well. So it's there are like new technologies that we never worked before, and now people are on board, and we've been doing projects like almost every month.
Yeah, but you also do other things, right? I've checked your platform, and you also do help company with marketing, web app development. Can you tell us a little bit about the services that you can offer
Yeah,
to startups?
web development is software development. Yeah, we do web applications, mobile applications, and all kind of that's maybe 85-90% is that. But yeah, we do have a great UI UX designer. Then we have some not so great ones. Let's be honest. I mean, we're not in that kind of business. We even didn't like to sell design, but since Josh, our main designer, is now full-time working for us, we have just one designer who we are happy to sell. And if someone really
Okay.
needs, and Josh is busy, we say, yeah, we don't watch, but we have more designers. But like developers, we have at the moment 11 working full-time and almost 200 who are working with us but not full-time. So compare now this with one really good designer and two not so good designers. So, and with marketing and video editing and all kind of other services that you can see there, it's about the same situation that we know we have two good guys, so we can offer all around service if some customers need all around service. Like I want from one place, like design, marketing, and everything from one place, we can offer it, but we're really hard pushing like all our campaigns are towards development. We're like mostly developer.
Yeah, you don't focus so much on the marketing side, right? That's not your strength, not your core business. You
Yeah,
can do
we
some
don't
stuff,
have
but it's not.
like, yeah, for example, we don't have like a really great marketing gurus who will jump in and create you like a perfect marketing strategy and stuff like that. We rather have like technical guys. We have a guy who knows everything about Facebook ad creation, AdWords, SEO, all different aspects. Like, you know, in our platform, we have everybody have rating for each skill, which I didn't tell. That was the main core idea in the beginning for CrewNew, that it's useless if we know that, for example, John knows JavaScript, PHP, and Python, for example. If we start speaking to him, it comes out that if we rate in 10 points, Python is 9. He's really good at Python, but PHP is crap. He can do
Mhm.
some, but he's pretty crap. So basically, we're rating each skill separately. And the same thing is in marketing. If we can scale it, if we can scale how good the guy is in AdWords, so we know this is the AdWords guy. But if we need Facebook ads to be created, then it's totally different guy for that.
It's a different skill set, isn't it? It's not the
Yeah,
same.
yeah.
You need. Do all your developers are in-house developers, or you do a little bit like Fiverr, let's say, like you kind of outsource, if you know what I mean. Like, for example,
Yeah.
if I'm go just to give an example, if I'm good with social, with marketing, so I'll come and I register in your platform, and then your client or can come and ask for my services, and then you take a cut from my service. Is that how it works, or you have your own core team, your own inside team, if you know
We
what I mean?
have we have our own small team, and there are, like as mentioned, 11 full-time guys working in our team, and we're a small team. Uh, uh, Not everybody in the same location even. We have in three different location offices for that small team, and the whole system is built so that there could be more small teams like us. So it's like a franchise. At the moment, we are three different such a small teams, and
Okay.
I'm like the one small team, but as I'm a founder and owner of CrewNew, I'm hoping very soon that I'm not anymore one of the small teams in the platform who's dealing with customers. Don't want to be a competitors for other small teams on the platform, to put it that way. But at the moment, yes, we are taking the end customers and we're developing software for them. But that's not our core idea. Our core idea is that if you are, for example, in Toronto, there's no presence of CrewNew in Toronto. You're thinking that maybe I should open an agency and start offering software or web or what that kind of service is what we do, then rather than building your own team, you can open a CrewNew team there. You will have all the marketing materials. You will have from the platform people who will deliver you the service. You will get the
So you
training.
you so you will leverage the existing resources to so that you can start your own agency, let's say in Canada, for example, right? So you work as a franchise, but will you have to then hire your own technical team as well, or you can leverage the existing resources that you have available for building software, for example?
The idea is that you don't need to hire any technical resources. You will get it from us. If you grow, for example, and you can start easy. You can start project based. You bring a project in, and it will be done uh, project based. But if you grow and you will need full-time guy, you will have your own dedicated remote guys. The Toronto actually is not a good example because we're really orientated on Europe because it's
Yeah,
easier. The
yeah.
time difference, most of the guys we are bringing to you are from Eastern Europe, so Toronto is not maybe the best example, but the idea is the same.
Yeah, the concept is what it matters. I mean, yeah, of course, the time zones and stuff makes the difference, right? So that your technical resource can really align to the different projects, and they don't have any delays on delivering times and etc. Right? Because if you have a 6 hour, 12 hour difference, I mean, it can have
Yeah.
a great impact on production, right? I believe on response times, etc., lead times for deliver and all this kind of thing. Um, I mean, obviously, we are, I think now over a year that we are in lockdown, in and out of different lockdowns. This has had an impact in many companies across, not only across the UK, but I mean, globally. I can confidently say that globally. How did you cope with with COVID? Did you have to change anything on your business plan, and how easy or difficult it was for you to adapt to this new world?
Yeah, there are many aspects. One is remotely. In that aspect, it's good for us because we started fully remote and we're at the moment mostly remote and we're used to work remotely. So for us, it's a great thing. Now all the world learned how to do things remotely and share the screen and do the video events and all kind of that kind of stuff. So in that terms, I think COVID is great for us and really good experience for everybody, really. But
Yeah.
economically, in the spring, uh, it was bad because everybody was afraid. Nobody knew what's gonna happen. Nobody was really thinking, hey, there's an idea. I think we
Yeah.
should improve our software. People had like different problems in their heads, or not how to expand or improve their software really. So, but then there was a summer. Summers are usually always more quiet. People have holidays and stuff like that. But like from August, it really kicked off like every year. I mean, I didn't see any difference really.
Did you change anything on the way you work, on the tools you use to stay remote, or it was something already in place?
No, maybe only that by some reason this terrible piece of software Zoom got really popular. So we implemented that into our system because everybody wanted to Zoom. Everybody said like, let's do a Zoom on Thursday. Hey,
It
what
became a
about
verb.
Zooming? It became a verb. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know why people like Zoom because we've been using Skype for ages and it's way better software because it's running all the time. You can just call me. I mean, I don't need to send you some kind of link. And in Zoom, there's nobody. It's always people are asking like, "Hey, where is this button to share the screen?" Ah, okay, I don't have a right. Can you give me the right? So it's like, why? I mean, Skype, it's just ringing in my pocket, and then
You mean Skype for
it's
business or I mean, there are
just
differences,
just
right,
a
on the way.
just a normal
Uh,
Skype. It works like WhatsApp.
yeah.
It's there. I can see if my friend is green or yellow away or red busy, and it's not ringing, and then I can call and he can answer and say, "Hey, I can't call right now. Maybe I give you a call back in a sec." All right, cool. And then we call again, and then, oh, okay, I can speak right now. Oh, let me share my screen. So basically,
Yeah.
like, you wouldn't, everybody's in WhatsApp today, so it could be if WhatsApp had the screen sharing capability, then I would probably
I
move
think
from
I think
Skype to
he I think
WhatsApp.
he I think that will go with I mean, look, Zoom. I mean, I work for a competitor, so I'm a bit suspect when I talk about Zoom. I'm probably not the best person to talk about it in this call.
Oh, yeah.
Of course,
Okay.
but I know I'm familiar with the industry and I'm familiar with the tools that we have available. I think everything has its own use case, right? If you want to have a
Yes.
call like we're having today, and if you
Yeah,
need to
that's
share
different. Yeah.
content,
Yeah.
if you want to have a conference call, if you need like to have a video device because you are meeting someone, not in a different country, or yeah, then WebEx or any other similar tool would probably be ideal for that use case. If it's just a phone call, then you have different systems that I mean, you had Skype, or you have calling, or you can use WebEx for everything, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can they have everything. You have messaging, persistent messaging, whiteboarding that you can annotate. You can do video calls, and you have calling as well integrated. And it's a platform that, with the power of APIs, you can easily integrate with other softwares, with other applications that can help you collaborate, and work and stay productive, right? Are you gonna stay remote? Is your company gonna stay remote moving forward? Are you gonna have like some remote, some work back to the office? What do you think is gonna look like?
I think it's gonna remain the same. I mean, we were fully remote. We became mostly remote and we will remain mostly remote because that one of the business ideas is that the development team is in Eastern Europe and customers are in the Western Europe. So that's one of the core ideas.
Yeah.
And
Do
so
you
it has
think
to.
companies will embrace this? Do you think? Well, now they had to embrace this change, right, and start digitizing, because I think some companies were still reluctant to digitize in general, right? When we look at the internet, and then we look at video conference, and and then we have, like, for example, digital currency. Do you see, people are embracing now because they've been forced to, and then they're gonna go kind of back to normal? Or you think all this technology that was already there available to us, like all these tools, and then we can throw in as well automation and artificial intelligence? Do you think this is going to be deployed
Mm,
more and more now?
of course, of course. Uh, people learned, people got good lesson because of COVID. And if technology is great if you can use it, if you learn to use it. People are in general slow in learning new technologies. They're conservative and naturally conservative. They're happy to use the tools they've been using and their boss always used and their dad said that use, and that's how people are. I think in US fax is still used today.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, artificial
Uh,
intelligence, automation, it's coming, right? It's already here, so it's the future is present, right? So it's here, and I think companies should embrace it and not be afraid of anything, right? Anything that can contribute towards the well-being of us all, you know, in our society, I think is great. Again, to CrewNew, your target customer, startups, small businesses, I would say. Is that the case still?
Smaller, medium-sized businesses, rather at the moment, but we've been outsourcing enterprise software too, and we're trying to expand into all kind of software, really, all about software development. Because of the core idea that was mentioned many times, there's potential to grow all the time. And
Yeah.
I like new technologies. I like to adopt new people coming with new technologies, new fresh ideas. It's like this is what I love. This is what I'm working. I'm working a lot, and I I I I just see that the CrewNew will be doing really all kind of software, not in a very far future.
And how do you market yourself? I mean, how do you get new business? How do you get customers? I mean, what type of marketing strategy do you have?
There's already more than half of the business is generated by franchise and resellers. So I'm trying to understand how they sell, but they
Hmm.
really a lot. I think they are not telling they because they feel maybe competition or I don't know. So a lot goes through resellers,
Do
but
you, do you leverage like
we
social
do.
social media, for example, this sort of?
But our small team, we are doing social media, paid, organic, uh, Google, paid, organic, word of mouth. Been in business so long, so personal contacts a lot.
Yeah, that's
Emailing,
that's
emailing personal contacts, building lists, using this kind of modern tools, harvesting contacts from LinkedIn. The marketing strategy board is quite a lot of cards there actually. So we're
yeah.
we're we're really hard on marketing right now.
Yeah, I mean, it needs to be, right? I mean, you have so many tools now that you can leverage, so many social media platforms, right? That you should or you
Yeah.
can leverage. Like you have Instagram, you have now you have TikTok, you have Facebook, you have LinkedIn, a more professional networking
Pinterest,
platform.
Instagram, yeah, what YouTube,
YouTube as well,
yeah.
so you can leverage. I think you should have a presence in all of them. That's my honest opinion. When people ask me, "Oh, where should I be?" I think you should be everywhere. I mean, you should try and whatever you content you create, you know, you should try and and have it across the board. I mean, YouTube is of course is more visual, is video, and but Instagram as well, and then pictures and images, and then
Yeah,
LinkedIn probably more to network with with professionals in your space, but also to do
mm.
lead generation, right? For more B2B.
It depends on your business, of course. Yeah, in our
Yeah,
business, the account-based marketing and LinkedIn, it's a very valuable source.
yeah.
But yeah, knowledge-based, like Quora or, for example, we're using. People are asking some questions tech-related that we can give a best advice, then that's a great
Yeah.
marketing.
So if I mean any of our listeners or watchers, I mean if they're looking to start a new business, if they have a business idea, they want to start an application or something. They have a business concept, a business idea. Why should they come to CrewNew and not going elsewhere? Why should they come to you?
If they want to get a good price, they have two options. They either come to CrewNew or they go to Upwork or some similar platform, and we offer better quality than those guys do. That's really the only
So
reason.
it's not only the price; it's also the other. I mean, the quality of your service that is superior to those
Yeah,
guys, right?
we can't beat only with price. We're not the only one who do the freelancers from cheaper countries. We're not the only one in this field.
Mm-hmm. Of
But
course.
yeah, they don't do the quality. They don't have project managers. They don't do quality control. They're not concentrated on one area and don't do really hard on that region. We are taking over from top companies from certain cities where we have established ourselves, like Kragujevac in Serbia, uh, Cluj-Napoca in Romania. There we have two bigger offices. We're taking over, for example, in Kragujevac, we're taking over a lot of people from a company called Quantax, who's doing his biggest porn industry software development company. And people get married, get kids, they don't feel like working for porn industry anymore, but
Mm.
they have solid experience in programming already. So anyway, yeah, basically we're really good at finding at certain locations certain people for certain technologies, so that we push it really hard on that term. And
Yeah, that's
if
good.
you want a proper developer, then and you don't want to pay a lot, what are your choices? You
Yeah, I
have to.
mean, you always have to pay, everything comes with the price, I say, right? And nothing is for free. There are no free lunches in this
Eh,
in this world. And if you want something good, I mean, you need to pay for it. You need to pay for quality because
eh,
if you go for the cheap, it's not always good to go for the cheapest option, right? I mean, I'm not saying
no,
that
no, no, no. Yeah, I mean, cheap has really bad smell on it, isn't
yeah,
it? It's but yeah, let me correct. Like, we're not trying to be cheap. We're
yeah,
trying to be way cheaper than you would expect to pay if you go to a
yeah.
decent software development company on a high street, or if you go to TopTal, for example. You in TopTal prices start from like maybe $60 per hour. Um, from CrewNew, you maybe get for $30 per hour a really senior, decent guy working really fast. So you see, it's like a two times difference.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I agree. Where do you see yourself? What's your vision for the next 5 years for
Uh,
CrewNew?
we've got the first investment, which you can imagine, like everybody, it's like friends and family and fools, how they call. I wouldn't say fools, but friends and family, true. We're going to invest this before we want to take the investment, the bigger investment. We want to invest our own money to do certain growth. So we're hoping to grow hopefully in a half a year, but maximum 1 year, about double. And then we're looking to take a bigger investment on board. And after that, we're hoping to grow again
That's good.
quite a lot. But I don't know. For that, there's no plans yet. It depends on the size of the investment, and then we will negotiate and think and see where we are and how much we can see that we grow and how we could grow, and then new plans.
It's good. Well, at least you have some investors that are keen in your business, right? And as long as you keep growing, I think that's all positive, right? And
Yeah,
it's
there was
important for.
interest. Yeah, we started to speak with investors a little bit before COVID, like a bit more than a year ago, and there was interest, yes. But then COVID kicked in and everything was really on hold.
Yeah, everything is
Yeah,
put on hold. But I guess in the
yeah,
technology space, in the tech space, software, application development, there is always an opportunity, right? Because now is even the time to innovate, to implement new ideas, right? New ways of working.
yeah,
And for that, they need people like you, companies like you, right? Anyone would need, because you can have the brilliant, the best idea in this world, but if you don't have anyone that can support that idea with with technical expertise, with know-how, I mean, you go nowhere with that. It's just a concept in your head, right? So
Yeah.
you need those guys, as you need then marketing, as you need then sales. So, but I think the technology space is probably it has probably been the least affected, I would say, by
Yeah, I
COVID,
think so.
right?
Yeah,
Because
technology and home delivery maybe.
and yeah,
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 and
yeah.
e-commerce as well.
E-commerce, everything that is online,
Yeah,
right? The world has
yeah,
gone digital here, right? It's
yeah,
a reality, it's here to stay, right? Everything is virtual now, right?
yeah.
I hope doesn't stay too much, because then, it's important that we meet each other every now and then. We still go out, we hang out outside. It's also important to stay in contact with
Of
the
course.
elements. But
Yeah.
business-wise, I mean, imagine if you were here. I mean, if all this was available to me, I don't know, 20 years ago or more, even more, when I was 15, 16 years old. I mean, and I have all the knowledge that all these 15, 16-year-olds have today in front of them, in front of their eyes. I mean, you just have to go to YouTube and you can learn pretty much anything, right?
Yeah.
Everything is you, I mean, I don't want to say that the educational system is bad or worse. It depends on you. Sometimes people need guidance and need discipline and all that. And I think education is important. It has been good to me. I kind of drop off school when I was very young, and then I jump on, and then I kind of started again at a later age, and it was good to me because I needed some guidance. I mean, everyone's different, but I didn't have the knowledge or access to knowledge that we have today, right? Let's be honest. I didn't have internet when I was 16. I didn't know what that. I mean, I knew what it was, but it was like a handful of people had internet back in the days. Not
Yeah,
everyone,
yeah. You can
you
really
know.
Google anything these days. I mean, it's amazing. Yeah.
Everyone is on
And
your phone, right? Is on your
yeah,
phone.
and
Your phone is a supercomputer.
well, my phone is a bit crappier than my supercomputer in front of me, but but it's pretty super. Yeah.
It's super. I mean, you have
Yeah.
everything. You can run the business from your phone. You
Yeah.
can run a company from your phone if you want to, right? I mean, whatever it is, right? If you want to sell, I don't know, if you have a clothing brand, I don't know, anything, right? You can do it from your phone. You can have all the applications, everything on your phone, on your mobile device. So it's not
So,
you can do video, you can start your YouTube channel, you can do anything from just a mobile phone, a smartphone. You don't
yeah,
need
you can,
many devices.
but still, it's not that easy as it sounds, though. You know.
It's not, but
Yeah,
it's yes,
but
at
it's
least you
way
got a tool.
easier. You got the tool. You got the tool. Yeah,
Uh,
one
uh,
problem solved.
yeah, it's not like I mean, you're not limited to something, right?
Yeah.
You have no excuses nowadays, I would say, right? You have no excuses. I mean, it's all there for you. Is you want to build what you want to be. I mean, you can be whatever you want to be, right? I'm not saying that. I mean, it's difficult, it's hard, it's a journey, right? You need to really have the mindset, and you need to be available, right? Psychologically available for certain things, right? It might not be
Yeah.
like a physical job, but you need to have the mindset, and you need to be available here to do certain things. Uh,
Yeah.
whether it's as a developer, whereas you are I don't know, a sales professional, and to be an entrepreneur, I mean, there's a lot of I mean, responsibility, right, that you carry with yourself, right? Because it's not
Yeah.
you're responsible for a business, you're responsible for a society, because you help a bunch of other clients that also contribute towards the society. You employ people, right? You are responsible for
Yeah.
those individuals, because if you go bust, that's it. Those individuals will be out of a job. And not everyone can be an entrepreneur, right? Not everyone wants to be one, and that's fair enough. Some people just want to be employed.
It's a different type of people. Some people just they like if they go to work, they do what they're required. They don't need to think too much. They don't need to
Yeah.
improve. They just do the stuff and get their salary, and then they go at certain time away from their office or work location, and they can forget 100% their job. They don't need to think about it. It's
because it's
I
a
know
lot in
many
your head.
such.
Yeah,
Yeah,
especially when you're starting. Or when you start a business that doesn't work as you were expecting it, and when there's not is not bringing enough revenue, and you have to worry about certain things about people. You have to pay salaries, you have to pay commissions, you have to pay this, you have to pay your bills, and then it's weekend, and you have all that stuff in your head. So you have to work sometimes weekends, you have to look after stuff, but it's what it is, right? Those are the risks, and with risk comes the reward as well, right? So if
yeah. I think if you
uh,
have the mindset and you think that this is for you of being entrepreneur, I think you should definitely start immediately. And if you fail, then try again.
try again, yeah.
It's
I mean,
not
it's
all the
part of the
businesses
process.
succeed, but yeah, I know it's of course it's harder to after first failure. The mindset is it's harder to
I
start the
mean,
second.
you can fail. The only thing I recommend and is fail but never go bankrupt. Like don't allow yourself to don't cross the line. I mean, you can fail a business, you can close a company. Look, my t-shirt business didn't work. I tried, it doesn't work. But don't get yourself into debt, into a difficult financial situation that then is difficult to overcome. And then if you open bankruptcy or anything, then you're not able to start any other business again. And
Yeah,
it's hard to overcome that. It's not impossible, but then it's harder for you to overcome that. And those are challenges, that you need to be careful. I mean, when you do that. I mean, what does entrepreneurship means to you?
that's a hardest question today. It means what it is, I think. I don't know. I don't have a creative answer. It means that you create your own future on your own. You don't go to the safe. I could just go and work for someone else safely with a good salary, with loads of experience. In IT, it's super simple, but it's not exciting. To being entrepreneur, it's exciting. I started
Yeah.
because of freedom. I think yeah, I started because of freedom because I
Yeah, I mean, you're free to do your own thing, right? To give your, do your own planning, plan your day, play the way you want to work, your
when I
project,
start
your company.
yeah, when I started, I was living in Estonia and the borders opened, and I felt that I want to maybe travel to a lot. And when I moved to UK, I felt that now I want to go to Estonia, and I want to go there pretty often and stay pretty long.
Yeah, true.
I want to
Where
go
where
there
can
maybe 4 times per year and stay like for a month every day. How can I do that if I'm working in a big corporation, 9 to 5?
it's different, right? It's a different concept, right? Some people, I mean, you work for a big corporation. Yeah, you have other responsibilities. You have it's different, right? It's like we said, you have to make your own choices, right? Some people are happier working for someone else, for a corporation, to have a
Yeah.
boss, to be guided, to follow instruction. Other people are better at being entrepreneurs. That's it. I think we all have our places. Otherwise, there wouldn't exist any entrepreneurs, because we cannot all be the same, right? We cannot all be entrepreneurs. There
Yeah,
still
it
need to
comes with
be.
its cost.
Yeah, it comes with its cost. It is exactly that that I wanted to say. Anyway, thank you very much for taking the time, to speak with me and share your story, not only with me but also with all the viewers. It has been an absolute pleasure talking to you. There is some discounts available for, I mean, if you want to use the CrewNew services. I will leave them on the comments, on the description below. Sorry, I will leave them on the description below. So I think it's a 15% for whoever wants to use the services.
Yeah.
before the end of April. If you want to use after whenever you want, then is a 10%
That's correct.
discount. That's correct, right? The 10%. I'll leave all the details. I will leave your details as well, so where people can find you online, when can find the CrewNew online in your profile as well. Thank you to all the listeners. A big thank you to you all for sticking around. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and of course click that notification bell so you are notified of all the new content. And yeah, Kaspar, it has been a pleasure having you here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
For everything. Yeah, and don't forget as well. Well, I think you already did, and to all the listeners to subscribe to Tuba Thought channel,
I
and
did.
leave us a comment on the video. Let us know your thoughts, and I will make sure I will reply to all the comments below. Thank you.
Thank you very much.